The second best batsman that I ever saw play, Graeme Pollock from South Africa, is the number 5 for the World 11. A magnificent player, and also, David, a left-hander.
It's rather encouraging, isn't it? Nice to see all these guys that could play once, still can play now. It's one of those little arguments, isn't it, when you say, does it help to be a left-hander? It helps to be a good player, that is for sure. And he is, or was. Actually, I watched Graeme Pollock make that 100, it was a very famous 100 at Trent Bridge in 1965. It was the first test match I went to, aged 7. That gives you a clue. And watched him get 100 there. I went to South Africa as a schoolboy, played some cricket down there on a school's tour. We watched one day's first-class cricket, saw Graeme Pollock get another 100. The next time I saw him was at Newcastle in England, in one of those international matches they play out there, one-day match, and he didn't let me down. So it was 3 for 3.
Magnificent player. That 274, the graphic that just went up there of his highest score in Test cricket. Remember that we were talking earlier about Barry Richards. He made 94 in the first session of that Test match at Old Kingsmead. Barry got out on the Ali Bucker got out, I think, on the second ball of the last over. So Graeme didn't come in before lunch. He came in after lunch, and he whacked a number of 4s from those 4 balls, and then he just sort of leant back on the bat at the end of the over. I was fielding next to Keith Stackpole, and I said to Stacky, we've got a problem here. And Stacky said, what's that? And I said, this so-and-so, he's seen Barry Richards bat, and the crowd are all talking Barry Richards here, and he said he's going to show them he's a better player. Barry Richards made 144, I think it was. Graeme Pollock got 274. That's going to be a wide. And I reckon I know what Dougie's trying to do here. Graeme Pollock is notorious for getting a single off the 6th ball. He's going to stop him, you see. He's going to bowl wides.
There were 1 or 2 conversations out there while I was batting with Sonny, actually, along the same lines.
It's 3 for 100. 5 overs. Zoe Goss has bowled 1 over. A maiden. Zoe, a maiden to Brian Lara, the world record holder. How does that feel?
Fantastic, thanks. I'm not sure whether it's being a bit kind to me, though.
Zoe, the good news is the phones have been ringing in this commentary box, and there are 14 English counties want to know if you're available next summer.
Fantastic. It's time now.
Do yourself a favour, don't go. You'll learn more cricket in Australia.
But I'll tell you one thing, if Railingworth comes on the phone, be careful, because it'll be reverse charges.
Graeme, can you hear me? It's Ian Chappell speaking.
Yeah, hi, Ian.
How are you, mate?
Fine, thanks.
You didn't normally take this long to get off the mark?
Well, I'm just worried he's hadn't got me out once or twice.
We'll let you know when the 6th ball's coming up so as you can get a single.
Well, you let me know. I've lost track of how to count anymore.
You can't be serious. He's the best counter I know. Up to 6. Thompson has a chase. 3 runs off the over. It's 3 for 105. Brian Lara is on 19. Graeme Pollock yet to get off the mark. He's going to be facing Zoe Goss. say they're certainly treating Zoe with a great deal of respect out there, the left-handers, David. This is not normal left-hander behaviour.
Well, they must breed them as gentlemen both in Trinidad and in South Africa.
Bill Laurie's cursing over here in the corner. He's saying he can't get off the mark. This didn't happen when we played against him. Bill's dead right.
Yeah, just had to remind Bill that, I mean, if he had been far-thinking and forward-thinking, just picked a woman, problem's over. So when you say you already had 4 in the attack as it was, Bill, who did you have in mind?
I can name them for you, but we'll do it off air, David. He was always telling me who they were as his vice captain, but I couldn't possibly name them on air for you. That's the Graeme Pollock that we know, a magnificent timer of the ball, and he wasn't ever that keen on running.
No, there's very little wrong with that. This big wide stance of Pollock's and a punch to the forearms, and that's about as much as he used to run, isn't it?
I see you're still running about the same amount, G, when you hit him.
I made a mistake. Barry talked me into having a little jog early after breakfast, so I've got to just...
A jog, Graeme?
I've got to conserve energy.
You didn't go out jogging with Dougie Walters, did you?
No, that was when we were coming back. This was at about 10.
It's a 6 ball, Graeme. Well, things have changed. It's 3 for 109. Doug Walters has got his usual breakthrough. Got the wicket of the World 11 skipper. That's a good save by Zoe Goss. Got the knee down behind it. And Dennis is having a bit of a camp down there, I think, at fine leg.
Still one of the highest career averages you will ever see, that one of Graeme Pollock's. Sadly curtailed, as with so many of his colleagues.
Once again, that big heavy bat, it just falls on the ball and away it goes. He was about, he used to use about a 210, 211, sometimes up as high as 212. I'm talking pounds and ounces now. His bat, 60.97. Fantastic batting average in 23 tests. If he'd have played more tests, it may well have gone higher, David. That's his career stats, the red ones being the centuries, a double century, the 274 right near the end there against Australia in 1970. It's beautifully played. Just let the ball drift onto the bat. It's the last ball of the over. He'll be looking for 3. That's a variation on the 1 off the last ball. It's 3 for 119.
Still a bit of chasing to be done here by the World 11. 22 overs left.
Graeme, things have changed. 3 off the last ball of the over now.
Well, I tell you, that run didn't be no good.
I can tell you, having played against him quite a bit, he was a bit like Doug Walters in his belief of training. Graeme Pollock. He didn't do any running around the oval. Wasn't a great one for having a long net before a game. He used to go a little further than Doug. He used to hit about 15 balls on the side of the field before a game, but that was about it. And it was really interesting talking to him in South Africa this year when we did some commentary together on the series, and it was fascinating to talk to him about batting. And one of the things that stands in my mind, he says, well, basically this is a see the ball, hit the ball game. And he kept it very simple. And that's beautifully played.
Yes, actually that is in fact the way to look at it, because so often when batsmen, well fielded, Simo. What an example to set. So often when batsmen get into trouble, they start looking at so many complicated little theories about their hands and their feet and heads and the balance, the whole lot. They actually forget that the one thing they haven't done recently is watch the ball all the way. And you can often, if you look at it properly, or you look at the problem properly, you realise that you're only watching the ball, say, 2/3 of the way instead of all the way. And the great thing for someone like Graeme Pollock, Brian Lara, is their natural instincts are so good that if they just remember just to look at the ball, everything else falls into place pretty well. And if they have a bad time, that's probably the thing they need to look at most seriously.
Yes, I think that advice goes for all batsmen. If you're in a slump, make sure you're watching the ball 100%. Chase for Jeffrey Thompson, number 10 out there at third man. It's 3 for 1.
Oh, and just over the top. Now, with a bit of luck, we'll be able to speak to Tony Crafter. Tony, can you hear us?
Yes, Tony.
Wonder if you could clarify for us, was Brian Lara out stumped, or was he out caught behind?
He was out both ways, actually, but seeing that the caught happened first, that's the way that it goes down in the scorebook.
That one played into mid-wicket, running way down to the boundary again. Good timing by Graeme Pollock.
It's Graeme Pollock just starting to find the gaps here as well. First of all, he went over the top. This is a dismissal here. Watch the ball. Does it get an edge? Yes, there's an edge there. Big nick. They're appealing for the catch, and that's fair enough. It's the end of Brian Lara, caught behind by Steve Rickson. Bowled Zoe Goss.
It seems to me too that Graeme Pollock is now really beginning to find his timing. This is another angle of that dismissal. Just a little nick, well taken by Rickson, and a good stumping as well. Well, I bet he enjoyed that too. Well, that's the shot he loves playing as well. He's heaved that one over mid-wicket down to the fence before. He's starting to look dangerous now.
This is like another nightmare for us. This is the way he played in 1967 and 1970 in South Africa, Graeme Pollock. Anything that was just a fraction off line, hits it for 4. That did stay down a bit. He just waited for it, whipped it over square leg. Just a magnificent batsman.
Look at that stance of his two, very wide. And that is the end of the over. 10 from it, 4 for 140.
Graeme seems to be doing okay.
Zoe Goss to Graeme Pollock. Oh, there's that drive again through the gap, and he's not running. It's the ball's absolutely skating down towards the fence, and Graeme Pollock doesn't even walk 3 yards.
There's 4 men inside the circle on the offside. This is exactly what he did back in 1970, which is 20-odd years ago. I don't know how many fieldsmen he got there. He'll find a gap if you bowl a half volley. He doesn't hit it too hard. He waits till the last minute. Superb placement. Beautiful timing.
So that's 5 boundaries to Graeme Pollock. And there we go again. Oh, it's gone straight through. He's hit that one very hard. It might have been a little bit of a bad bounce for Greg Chappell. We don't often see him fumble, but that one I think must have hit something and gone a little bit left as it hit the ground.
Even allowing for the bounce, how quickly did it go to the fence? There's that big back lift, and This time he does get a bad bounce. It races away for another boundary. He'll just murder any attack, Graeme Pollock, once he's set. He was doing it at 41 years of age when the Rebel Tours were on as well. Test average is almost 61. He's just turned 50, Graeme Pollock. He's got a strike rate of 112.
They've been enjoying this in South Africa. This telecast to be seen in South Africa as well as in New Zealand. They're taking this as well. And the New Zealanders through TV3, in point of fact, taking it live. Oh, he's timed that one well, Dujon has. He's blasted that through the offside, and that's running down to the boundary for 4 as well. So I think if they carry on like this, they'll get it back to run a ball.
Graeme Pollock's still there at the end. They're winning about 45 overs. Six overs, nothing to Graeme Pollock. And Dujon at the other end. It's a beautiful time of the ball as well. And he's not doing a Brian Lara. He's not taking Zoe Goss too carefully. He's hitting through the line of the ball. Dujon.
Shot so far where he scored his runs. You'll see what Bill Laurie's been talking about through the offside field. Here we go. He's hit 3 magnificent boundaries through extra cover, 1 straight down the ground, 2 through mid-wicket. Played a little glance on the offside, a little glide on the leg side, and then there are a few 1s and 2s. And that's that pull shot again. You see, that is absolute effortless stuff. Unbelievable.
Yes, he's 50 years of age. It wasn't all that short. He hit exactly where he wanted to. It was almost just wide and mid-on. You just rock back, and there it goes. Plenty of bottom hand in that one. Superb stroke. 7 boundaries. That's 14 scoring shots. 7 of them have been boundaries.
There are the boundaries so far, those pull shots through the mid-wicket area, all in front of square. That's the only place he hits them. Oh, he's got that one square. And that one won't quite reach the fence. Well, Graeme, you're still plugged in?
Yeah.
Starting to see them now.
Yeah, a little better.
Well, there we go. That's the last ball of the over, and Graeme has got through for 1 that time.
I'll get it. Over.
4 for 165. So 34 overs have been bowled now. This is a 50-over match. That's the comparison. Absolutely nothing in it. Graeme Pollock's out there with 44 and looking really good. Just 37 balls. He's been hitting boundaries all over this ground, mainly through the covers and pulling them through mid-wicket. 1 down to square leg. Jeff Dujon played well too. He's got 8 of 4 balls so far. Zoe Goss starting her 6th over. She's bowling to Graeme Pollock. Well, that's well fielded. Lilly has got himself into mid-wicket.
For Pollock, there's a man on the fence at long off now for the off drive. Graeme Pollock always like it on the front foot. There's a man 3/4 away the fence at a wideish mid-off. There's a mid-off cover point, backward point. And Simpson is a short third man.
Yes, just looking at Zoe Goss's card here. She's a big fan of Whoopi Goldberg and William Hurt. And her favourite groups are the Cranberries, Enigma, My Friend the Chocolate Cake. Just a little fumble, but Graeme Pollock's quite able to stay where he is, and Tomo gives a little shake of the head.
He's got his timing going now, Graeme Pollock. The new ball coming onto the bat. Run rate required 6.84. They've got 7 wickets in hand. Interesting to watch Graeme Pollock. Nothing's changed. He never great user of his feet. He likes to lunge onto the front foot and he'll rock back. He's so tall. Stand there, he comes forward and he just rocks back and it stays down a bit. He plays it pretty well.
Right, this is the last ball of the over. When he's got that one through mid-on, and they'll get 2 or 3 here again. Lovely timing by Graeme Pollock. That one's running down the hill. Lily's after it. He's moving pretty well. 3 runs of that over, a tidy one. 4 for 168.
Monday, TV's best laughs.
So 15 overs to go before this match will come to a close. In the commentary box now, Richie Benno and David Gower.
Tenny, Greg Chappell, the leader, the skipper of the Bradman side, just preparing to bowl now. Always a lovely shot. Just to remind everyone at home, this is a day-night match. If you're sitting in your living room looking at the screen, the lights are so good here and on the other grounds that it looks like daytime. Same applies if you're watching highlights after the game. Zoe Goss is the fielder.
She's done very well tonight, Zoe Goss. Some runs with the bat in the first innings. Overs, and now a good fielding arm as well.
She's thrown very well out there each time the ball's gone near and she's picked it up, but I reckon the size of the ground will pose her some problems. Already be doing so, but she's done well batting, bowling and fielding. Michael Whitney, the fielder. And a half-century to Graeme Pollock. After some moments of indecision in his first 10 runs, he suddenly started to strike the ball quite beautifully.
Yes, it's certainly brought back memories for many people in this box. Some of those that played against him in international cricket when he was in his heyday.
I provided part of his heyday.
Tell us more.
Well, it was the series here in 1963-4, and he was absolutely magnificent. And it's 4 for 173. This game here and various peripheral things will go to that non-profit public trust. Oh, that short arm jab again.
Plenty of open space at deep square leg. And if the World 11 are going to win this, then Graeme Pollock could be the man to do it. He really dominated the previous stand with Jeff Dujon. Duge got 8 of 6 balls. The stand itself was worth 44 of just 33 balls. And Pollock himself ahead at the moment, runs per balls.
Graeme Pollock's moving along very, very smoothly now. 5 for 185, the World 11. So he goes just straight down the leg side. She's bowled a good tight line and length much of the time. Talking about the fact that the funds raised from this match will go to the non-profit public trust, and also any funds raised from the sale of that Images of Bradman book, which is a magnificent publication. There's the Wide World of Sports Collector's Edition for $80, Trade Edition $49.95, and there's the Special Limited Edition for $650.
Mike Whitney patrolling the leg side, or the deep side of it, the deep part of it, almost single-handed. Might eventually get back to the stumps.
Yeah, well, we can't do much about that.
You got it back now again.
Straight over the top of mid-off. He's played some wonderful strokes. There'll be a lot of people sitting back in their living rooms watching tonight who saw him play out here so many years ago. And that's a real flashback to what he did on that tour.
Last ball of the over, Graeme. I think we'd like you to keep the strike as the rest of the world side here. All right, 4 will do. We're not going to complain. 5 for 196.
Monday on a current affair.
196, the world 11. Chasing a mere 270 to win this match. Never easy chasing on this Sydney cricket ground, as we've seen in recent weeks, with Graeme Pollock in fine form, Abdul Qadir giving good support. What will happen? We better check in a moment. Now, Greg Ritchie, are you out there?
Yeah. Yeah,
Fat Cat, how's it going there in the gully? You've been playing a key role in the proceedings the last 20 overs there.
Thank you very much. I was keeping an eye on things.
You're not worried about the way this game's going at the moment, are you?
There's a bloke called Pollock worrying me a little bit for the fact he might hit one in my direction at force 10.
If you're lucky, you'll just feel the breeze as it goes past the ears.
I tell you what, I wouldn't mind be hitting them that well when I'm past 50, mate.
Well, they'll probably still be asking you to play in these games. Don't worry about that.
I tell you, it's been a joy to watch him, hasn't it?
Yeah, and he's been in fine form. Have you seen him play before?
Never before. Never before. And
well, the boys in here tell me it's exactly the same as it always used to be.
Yeah, I tell you what, I haven't seen anyone time the ball as well as he has this evening. He hit one cover drive which went through Greg Chappell, and even the great Viv Richards at his best didn't hit him any better than that.
Well, Viv was meant to be here. Graeme made it here. It's not a bad swap.
Oh, my word. Oh.
What do you think about your fast bowler at the moment, Zoe Goss? How's she been coping out there?
I'll tell you what, she's a very, very good cricketer. Been very impressed with her bowling. She'll remember that wicket of Brian Lara's for the rest of her life, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm told Brian Lara's already left the ground, actually.
It'd be a shame if she wins man of the match, though, wouldn't it?
She does have a very good diet, too. It's just the end of, coming up to the end of Zoe's over now. And she's bowling her 9th over. Chance to get through the full 10.
Just a quick question, Fat Cat. You're not going to lose this one, are you?
Oi,
That'll be 4 from the last ball of the 9th over. Abdul Qadir smashing it straight down the ground, and it's 5 for 200. 5 for 200, and the Bradman 11 at the same time. 6 for 212. Graeme Pollock is 72 now. Abdul Qadir 7. 200 of 246 balls.
Well, Greg Chappell has pushed his man back at long off now as a gesture towards the stroke making of Graeme Pollock.
Could be out just over the top of Jeff Thompson at mid-on. Pollock will get 2 for it.
Well, I mean, long off was back, so Graeme Pollock trying to take advantage of the space just over Jeff Thompson's hand there. Got away with it.
Bowling figures there, Zoe Goss and Michael Whitney, the 2 best. 2 for 26 for Whitney, 2 for 45 for Goss. A couple of idiots on the field. We've seen a bit of that this year.
I think there was a certain amount of weight behind that stranglehold just then. Fat Cat, do you have a police licence there?
Licence to chase ground offenders. Licence to kill.
I think one squeeze and it's all over, isn't it?
Well, not far off, but it's 4 runs. Simon O'Donnell was the man charging in there and diving for the catch.
Very awkward indeed, just bouncing in front. Simon didn't quite make it there.
Mate, I didn't quite have the pace, did I?
Well,
I made it look as good as I could from a skipper, but...
You thought he actually hit them harder than that, did you?
Oh, I wish he did. Might have hurt me if he hit it too hard. Well, there's another one coming, I can feel it shortly. But I know my skipper will give me a pat on the back for having a real dip at it. I think that's good. I bluffed him, I think.
It's not hot out there, is it, tonight?
Sorry?
Not hot out there tonight. You seem to be sweating up a little bit.
Mate, I've just come back from my honeymoon. There's a little bit of whatever I drank and ate up there, I can tell you. Comes out pretty quick down here. Oh,
no further
the butcher's
questions.
in again, I better get up there.
Thanks, Simon.
Five at 2:07 now, and Graeme Pollock is 79. Abdulkader is on 7. He's taking strike to Greg Chappell. Still 5 for 2:07, 7 from the over.
Need to be around about 85-90. One bounce. It's a long boundary down there to square leg.
Asking rates 7.56. Haven't been able to get that down. It just needs a couple of very sharp overs for the world side now. We're into the 43rd over. Abdulkader has carried Zoe Goss straight down the ground. Short of the boundary. He can play Abdulkader, not just a bowler, but a good batsman as well.
He's dragged that from wide and it's almost reached. Almost on the half volley into the fence. Well, that's the quickest Graeme Pollock's had to run tonight. Must sense that victory is getting closer. And the graphs merging as we get into the middle of this last 10 overs. Seven overs left after this one.
Beautiful stroke. Lovely square drive. Using a very good touch. It's a great thing for the spectators here at the ground and watching on television just to have a glimpse of this fellow and the great players the world has seen.
There are a lot of international players currently playing who'd be happy to be scoring runs at this rate.
Five for 222. 43 overs gone, 5 for 222, so there's not much in it between these teams. Zoe Goss has just finished her full allowable stint of 10 overs, and she got a great ovation from the crowd here, as she did when she went off from batting. And Greg Chappell has knocked over Graeme Pollock. Very, very good swinging delivery. And a lovely hand from Graeme Pollock. Nice innings, Graeme. Congratulations and a delightful ovation. Nice to be back on the ground. Six for 222. When we come back, it'll be Bill Laurie and Ian Chappell.
Welcome back to the Sydney Cricket Ground. A standing ovation for Graeme Pollock. Just a magnificent innings bowled. Greg Chappell for 89 and 6 for 222. Ernie Dingo comes out. 3 wickets and a catch in the field for Ernie Dingo, but the pressure's really on the World 11 now. Vital wicket by Greg Chappell here. He's keeping the ball well up. Yorker, maybe just a bit of bin swing. Pollock not using the feet as the off-stump pushback. What a magnificent knock. He smashed the bowls to all parts of the ground this evening. 14 fours off just 71 balls faced.
Yes, he's a magnificent player. 14 boundaries is quite remarkable. Most players, when they start to get a bit older, find it difficult to hit the boundaries. The shots are still there, and they pick the gaps, but getting them to the boundaries becomes a bit more difficult. Graeme Pollock, absolutely no problem at all. And look at the boundaries there all around the wicket. He specialises in thrashing the ball through the covers, and those pull shots, well, I've seen enough of those to last me a lifetime. R.G. Pollock, as I said when he came in, he's the second best batsman I've ever seen, and he only misses by a whisker to Sir Garfield Sobers.
This is on a pitch that is slow when you bat second here at the Sydney Cricket Ground, where most sides go down because of lack of stroke play. He was just magnificent.